Hello guys, what's up and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me, your girl barrister NEZE, and this is NEZE Peperempe. Welcome back to another sit down video. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing with you guys the distinctions, the differences, the advantages and disadvantages, my experiences with daycare and day homes in Canada. So childcare as a working mother, well, maybe even if you're not working, well, it depends, yeah. But as a working mother, one of the things that you have to consider when you relocate to Canada or the West is childcare, okay? Back home, we have a much simpler, straightforward arrangement. You can easily get the help to come stay at home with the child. You don't have to take the child out, you know, you're at the office and you know that the child is at home with the help. But over here, obviously, there is nothing like house help. So if you're a working mother, if you're a very busy mother like I am, then one of the things that you have to think about is childcare. So when talking about childcare, there might be more, but basically there are two options: day home or daycare. And I'm coming at you guys with the experience of the both places. So I have put my daughter in a day home and I have also put her in a daycare. So I'm going to be comparing and contrasting. So if you're a mom and you want to try childcare for the first time, you will be abreast, you'll be aware of what to expect and what not to expect. And if you have also had these experiences, please drop in the comments section so others can also learn from you. So when I came on my channel and I told you guys that I'm sending my daughter off today, whatever, some people reached out to me, some people even mailed me, like the love was that day. You guys came to me and said, no, they said don't do day home. Don't take her to day home. Wait for his daycare, go proper. But as I told you guys, I didn't have the luxury of a choice because if I had collapsed, they would have taken her somewhere. So it was like a matter of here. It had gotten up to here. She was not the kind of baby that could sit down and allow me to do anything. So I was extremely stressed and my health was jeopardized. So I didn't have any option but to begin with a day home. And now she is now at a daycare. I'm going to give you guys all the gist. A lot has happened, but for this video, let me just compare and contrast. So before we get into this video, I have to first describe what a daycare is and a day home. A daycare is like a structured, it's like a school. It's structured, I'm going to leave a picture here. It's like a big facility where children can come to and get cared for. It is owned by an organization, a company, and they have so many staff. I think they can take up to 100 children. While a day home is, as the name implies, a home, it is like an individual who goes for training. You have to go through trainings and get the license to have this facility. So it's like a privately run business, a sole proprietorship. An individual who maybe does not want to work for somebody else or who has passion for children would go through the trainings and, you know, got lots of government inspections and all of that, and maybe convert his or her basement. Let me stop using his because I'm not seeing a man with a day home here in Canada, and converts her basement to this facility. And I think the maximum number of children that she can take is 6. I think that's the maximum. 6, or is it 7? I think it's 6. So that's the difference. While daycare propers are big, established, 100 children, lots of staff, a day home is an individual's business and it is operated on a very small scale. The first advantage of a day home for me is what I'll call personalized services, personalized care, cultural integration, especially if the day home you're sending your child to belongs to someone of same nationality as you. So Nayenwa went to a Nigerian's day home and there was a lot of cultural integration that I was happy about. First, the food. The food timetable had delicacies that I wanted Naya to get used to eating because she wasn't allowing me feed her at home then. You know, these children, they'll be doing shakara at home, but when they go out, they will eat well there. So I needed someone to assist, teach her how to eat, and I wanted her to learn how to eat those our native food, yam porridge, beans, eba, amala, all those things, rice and stew and everything that we eat in Nigeria. So there was a lot of cultural integration. She was eating Nigerian food. She was being backed sometimes by the lady. The lady will back her. Sometimes when I go to pick Chineyenwa, the lady will be playing Christian song on her phone or listening to Christian sermons, which I didn't have any problem with. So that's an advantage of a day home, which you might not get in a daycare. I don't think there's any daycare in Canada that will be feeding your child eba soup or abala and a way to. So that was an advantage for me. I do not know for you. The second advantage of a day home for me over a daycare is less people, so less exposure to bacteria and virus. Of course, just arithmetically speaking, the fewer people you have to interact with, you have to come in contact with, the lesser the chances of contracting these viral diseases that can easily spread. So if you are in a day home that has 4 children, for example, you won't compare the exposure to one that has 100 children or 80 children. And you guys know that these children, they always pick everything and put in their mouths and they touch everybody's thing. And before you know it, the child is coming back with a pink eye today, tomorrow with a cough, next tomorrow with a sore throat. These viruses spread very fast where there are so many of them. But in the day home, the numbers are curtailed, there are fewer, so there are less chances of contracting all these sicknesses. Then the third advantage of a day home for me is the close relationship with the provider. You can establish a close relationship with the provider. For example, I'm going to give an example. The day home I sent Nayet to the first time, the lady, a Nigerian lady, she returned my security deposit. I didn't ask her to. When you put your child in a day home or a daycare, it is expected that you inform the facility 1 month before you pull out the child. It's not like back home that you can just not bring the child the next day if you're angry and that ends the contract. No, you have to give them prior notice so they can find a replacement for your child. Don't forget that they are counting their income per child head. So you're not supposed to just take them unawares and withdraw your child and they will now, have an income leakage until they find someone else. That's not good. So you're supposed to give 1 month prior notice, which is the typical time, and there is a security deposit to ensure that you do that. Just like security deposit for houses, you give that money. If nothing spoils in the house, they give you back at the end of the lease, right? So also does it happen in daycares and day homes. You submit an amount of money to the agency that runs these day homes, and the agency will give it to the owner of the day home. And after the notice is given, when you're pulling out your child and there's no issue, no payment wahala, they will return the money back to you. But this lady returned my money back to me even before. She was like, she doesn't want to hold money that does not belong to her. She doesn't want to keep it. I can have my money. You understand? When I was leaving, I still gave her the notice of 1 month, but that would never happen in a day care. They are very strict with these principles and these policies. You cannot just, they would not give you your money back. So you can imagine someone that has real need for the money, someone that is short on cash. That will be a very big advantage. You can negotiate and dialogue with these owners of day homes. For example, you can just call, babe, how far? Oh, sorry, I'm late, I'm coming. That kind of personal relationship, which you might not have when it is a daycare. You can have that personal care. Some people in day homes, they can even help you make your daughter's hair or lose the hair for you. That's personal, depends on relationship. But daycare, there's no personal relationship. Business is business. Then lastly, the last advantage of a day home for me is that you can have mixed age groups in one space. So in daycares, right, they divide the children according to their age, according to their childhood phase. So there is the infants from 0 to 18 months. Then there are the toddlers, then from 19 months to a certain years. Then there's now the kindergarten age. So they are divided and they cannot mix these children. Toddlers stay in a separate place, infants stay in a separate place. But if it's a day home, all the children are together. It can be an advantage, it can be a disadvantage. It will be an advantage for parents who have more than 1 children in the day home. They will have their children be able to see each other, play with each other. Your sisters or brother and sister will be together. They won't be separated as there will be if it was a daycare proper. But the disadvantage, if you see that way, is that the bigger children might try to bully the smaller ones, like take their toys and make them cry and those kind of, or even, they can get into a fight if you don't look fast. You know how these children are. So that might be an advantage if you have two of your children going to a facility. In the day home, they'll be able to be together, but in the daycare, if they're of separate age ranges, they would separate them. So the disadvantages of day homes. I think for me, the first disadvantage is the risk. It's a one-man business. It is one person looking after your child. There are no checks and balances. There are no persons putting the minder on his or her toes, Let me use her. Some minders, for example, they want to ease themselves or want to eat or want to do something. They will tell their husbands to come and watch over the children, little female children. I'm not suspecting anybody's husband, but some people might not like it because of how the world is. Anything happens these days. But that cannot happen in a day care proper. Also, as human beings, there are some things that we do and we get away with when people are not watching us that we will not do when people are watching us. So the day home, it is just a single person. Sometimes the person might wake up unhappy, fed up, going through marriage problem, sick, grumpy, not in the mood. Even as parents, there are sometimes that we're not even in the mood for our own children. So who told you that somebody else will be in the mood for other people's children from morning till night? So that person might have woken up on the wrong side of the bed and, take it out on the children. When I say take it out, I don't mean to start hitting them or wounding them, but that extra care might not be there, or ignore them when they are crying, or not care if they eat well. That kind of thing. There is a risk of that. Unlike in the daycare proper, where if a child is crying, the administrator or the manager will come and say, what is happening? The other people looking at you. You cannot just ignore a child. You cannot just ignore your duty. You have to be on your toes, making sure that those children are okay, because there are other people, there are other, things watching you. There's a camera. Even parents in some daycares, parents can monitor the activities of their children right from home. There are live cameras in the facility, so it's different with day homes, where it is just the minder God at your child, and you pray that the person will take good care of your child. There is no serious supervision. Another disadvantage of the day home is a smaller space. So usually people that run day homes, they just use their basement or a corner of their house for this purpose. But the daycare proper is usually a big dedicated building, sometimes 1 or 2 story buildings, just purely day care. So there's a lot more space, a lot more room in daycares, unlike day homes that is usually cramped. And the last disadvantage of a day home that I would say here is the unavailability of specialized care. So if you have a child that needs specialized care, like a child with developmental issues, an autistic child, a child that has, those kind of things, you might not have access to the facilities that are needed to care for that child in a day home. In fact, many people that haven't run day homes, they are mostly reluctant to accept such children because they believe that they alone cannot carry that child. They're very demanding, as well as 5 others. It will be too much for them, morning till night. So such facilities are always more readily available in daycares. That's like the established institution, unlike day homes. So having analyzed day homes, let me go to daycare proper, the daycares. One of the major, and in fact number one advantage of the daycare is the structure. It's like comparing a university to being schooled from home. You cannot compare the structure. So a daycare is a very structured institution. Everything structured. For example, in NEZE daycare, there is an app, a real-time app, where I can monitor her activities even before the end of day reports. I'm seeing pictures of when she sleeps. They are updating me when they change her diaper, real time. They're updating me what she ate and whether she ate well. Updating me whether they went out to play. Pictures of her doing all these activities when she sleeps. So I have the app where I'm checking all day to see how my baby is doing. There's structure of cameras in many daycares where you know that the staff, they are being watched. They cannot misbehave. They cannot slack. It's not a matter of when the parents drop the children, the woman will just go and lie down and leave the children to be playing. The woman will just be reading Bible or reading novels or playing on Instagram. No, in daycares there is structure. Everybody is on their toes. Everybody is on their feet. Many day homes, you don't even go in when you ring the bell, the woman will bring out your child for you. So you don't even know what's happening inside there. But in daycare, nobody's bringing your child out for you. You have the password to access the building. Once you come, you scan your barcode, you go in and see your child. Not when it's time for them to pick your child, they'll package your child, clean her face. You don't know what the child has been through throughout the day. That's what happens in day. That's what can happen in day homes. But in daycare, it's open. Any parents can walk in at any time and see for themselves and pick their children from inside the facility. So there are structured timetables, food timetables, balanced diet. Now your child is having vegetable, this snack. There are lots of activities, engaging activities. Yes, in day homes, the minders are required to teach the children and put them through activities, but in daycares, the activities are a lot more structured. Just within this short period of time that NEZE has started going to daycare, they've had a fire service team come to demonstrate to them. As tiny as this was, what can you understand is happening? They had the fire guys, they had Thanksgiving this, they had fashion parade, beauty pageants, different activities, Halloween. There's nothing that they've not done within this short period that she has stayed there. Sometimes they invite, they invite people from the outside world to come and demonstrate to these children. So it's a lot more structured and engaging in day cares, unlike day homes. Another advantage of the day care to the day home is that it's there is more dependability and reliability. So of course it's a going concern, it's a structured business. One person interrupted, or one person's ill health, or one person's state of mind, or one person's unavailability does not affect the business of the daycare. For the day home, since it's a one-man business, anybody can wake up sick. You can get excuses. You can just dress your child, ready to take the child to the day home, and the lady would send you a message. I'm sorry, today this thing happened. My son is sick. My daughter is sick. I am not feeling fine. Please. And you have to take your child and look for where to manage your child. Or if you go to work, you start looking for where to keep the child, or start calling your boss. And it might not be the person's fault, because when someone is ill too, the person is not in a good or the best position to care for children, right? So there might be these disruptions, these excuses, these hitches in day homes. But in daycares, it is dependable, it is reliable. Nobody's calling to tell you that the center is closed. In day homes, for example, too, the owner of the day home has a time mapped out in the year that is her vacation period. You would pay for that month though, but it's her vacation period. You cannot bring your child. It's just like an employee in an office that goes on vacation and gets paid. Yeah, you pay for that month, but you cannot bring your child because the day home minder is on vacation. But in the daycare, there's nothing like anybody going on vacation. It runs all year long, aside from federal holidays. Then the time are also longer. Like in day homes, I think it's from 7 or 7:30 to some 5 to 5:30. While in daycare proper, it is from 6 a.m. They are open till 6 p.m. So those that leave early for work and come back late, they are covered. So if for some reason the staff is sick, they get a replacement immediately. There's nothing like calling you for one excuse. Don't bring your baby today. I have this. I have doctor's appointment. I'm purging. No, you're not going to get all of that. They are highly dependable. And the last advantage of day cares when being compared to day homes is quality of care. Yes. First and foremost, it is widely believed that the staff in daycares are a lot more skilled, a lot more trained than just a singular person in a day home. It might be wrong, it might be right. I do not completely agree with this point, but a lot of people believe that the staff in these daycares are a lot more qualified and trained than the one in the day home. But for me, the point I will score on this one is the fact that this staff in daycares, they take shifts. So when someone resumes by that 6:30, by 12, the person has closed for the day. And the person goes when that person takes over. Because trust me, it is mentally tasking dealing with children, toddlers, from morning till night. Headache. Your head will start aching. You'll be tired. You'll be fed up. You are a human being too. Just because they are paid for it does not mean they are not human beings. You understand? So that's why they take these rotations. They take shifts in day cares. But in day homes, it is that one person that will be chasing children from morning till evening. And many times, the person might get tired or fed up or frustrated, or, these children would get on your last nerve, they would test your patience. So that's fact that there is no really break except the children are sleeping, and sometimes all the children will not sleep together. So to say, okay, you are completely resting for 2 hours, sometimes 2 children will sleep, 3 will refuse to sleep no matter how hard you try. You get, so one person carrying that mental load of dealing with 6 children from morning till evening is draining, and it might tell on the quality of care that person will be able to administer. So to wrap up this video, let us quickly take the disadvantages of daycares. The first disadvantage of daycares is it is so difficult to get one. It is so difficult to get into. In fact, oh God, if I tell you how many daycares that I have tried reaching out to, I am on their wait list. Some daycares that I've been on their wait list for over 1 year. Till now, they've not reached out to me that there is a space. You can imagine how crazy it is for 1 year. And many times you have to pay some kind of commitment fee, some $100, some $50, some $200 for them to put you on the wait list when it's not even sure that you will get in. So if you're looking for a daycare, you might find yourself committing your money here and there just for them to reserve a spot for you. So just imagine a daycare and you are number 15, number 25 on the wait list. When will 25 children leave the facility for you to be next? Yes, it's possible that some people before you might have gotten an alternative place before, but then it is still a very long wait. So it is a lot difficult to get a daycare, unlike a day home that you can start with. That's why I started with a day home, because my case was critical. I had to start with a day home because I knew if I started waiting for daycare, Kasala go bust. So I started with a day home, which is easier to find. Even within your vicinity, you'll just see the signposts, childcare, Alberta, whatever is available here. Just driving about, you can just go there, say they have space. In fact, even in groups, you see people advertising, I've opened my new day home, or bring your child there. So it's easy to get into, unlike the daycare proper. It is hard. Another disadvantage of a daycare when being compared to a day home is the cost. Oh my God. Childcare services is not for the weak in Canada or in the West. Let me know how it is in your country. Daycares are so expensive. For toddlers, you might be seeing $2,000 for a month, $1,900. It is so expensive. I was even thinking that daycares will be cheaper because they have the number, but day homes are a lot more affordable. Daycare is expensive, very expensive, so that's a major disadvantage. So you have to weigh your income. As I said in the other video, you have to weigh the value of your time. If that time that you need to work equals to the amount of money that you will spend paying for daycare, what is the need? You have to manage. You go to work that they pay you $2,500, daycare is $2,000. So what is the need? It's not better for you to just stay at home. You understand me? It is so expensive. There might be some grants if you qualify. It's not everyone that qualifies. There might be some grants that will come in to cushion the effects for you. But even at that, it is still a much more expensive option than day homes. Then the last point, the last disadvantage of day cares to day home is that most times, not all the time, most times the day cares are usually farther off. So before you find a daycare within your vicinity, it's very difficult. You see 15 minutes away, 18 minutes away. But for day homes, because there are homes, there are houses around you, you might have 1 or 2 minutes away, 5 minutes away, 7 minutes away. So most times the distance could be a barrier, especially when you are not mobile. So guys, yes, that is my quick analysis on day home versus daycares in Canada based on my own personal experience. I have experienced the both of them, and these are what I could come up with when it comes to the advantages and disadvantages. So putting that on a scale, which one would you go for if you had a choice? Do you prefer a daycare or do you prefer day homes? Have you had good experiences or bad experiences with either of the two? Share all your thoughts and your feelings and your experiences down in the comment section. So guys, yes, we have come to the end of today's video. If you're new here, you're seeing my face for the first time, or if you've been watching without subscribing, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Give this video a big thumbs up. Drop all your comments down in the comment section. Subscribe to our African Folktale channel. Very interesting African folktale stories told how you love them. And stay glued because we have so much more coming your way. It's me, your girl barrister Neze, and this is Neze Peperempe. I'll see you guys in my next one, guys. For now, bye. Mwah.